Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla bot updates, Tesla pausing hiring but increasing at the same time, new Cybertruck updates, Tesla service expansion, and more. So let's get into it, and a special thanks to Drive Protected for sponsoring this video. First up today, a big piece of Tesla's future is their investment into AI. In order to achieve their goal of full autonomy, they're going with an AI-based neural network training approach. They plan to achieve a certain level of real-world AI that can understand any situation in order for their cars to drive safer than humans can. This approach has evolved over the years, and Elon Musk has made many promises, but at the very least, they're working very hard on it. Elon Musk's most recent updates have been in regards to the expansion of the FSD Beta. He said, quote, "We got over 100,000 in the beta, so it's not tiny, and we will be expanding that to probably 1 million people by the end of the year." Then in May, he said that Tesla will have self-driving cars without the need for human drivers around this time next year, 2023. The FSD Beta is officially expanding more now, and we'll get more into that later in this video, but for now, Elon is laser focused on the Tesla bot. The Tesla bot was the, quote, "one more thing" at Tesla's AI Day event back in August, and while they laid out specifics about the robot like height, weight, electromechanical actuators, and more, it was clear that this was simply a dummy on the stage and an example of where their AI efforts are headed. They feel that they can make a compelling humanoid robot in the near future, which, given Elon time, is exciting, but should see some delays. They also revealed a lot about their Dojo computer, the latest for FSD driving, and more at that event. But now Tesla is planning a second AI Day. Originally, it was scheduled for August, with Elon saying, quote, "Tesla AI Day number 2 on August 19th, so many cool updates." When asked, "Will you show a sneak preview of Tesla bot?" he responded yes, but now this event has been pushed back. AI Day is now scheduled for September 30th because they could potentially have a functional Tesla bot to demonstrate. Elon said, quote, "Tesla AI Day pushed to September 30th, as we may have an Optimus prototype working by then." He followed that up with Tesla AI Day number 2 will be epic. On top of this, it has also been confirmed that the prototype concept they unveiled at AI Day number 1 was just that, a concept. It was on display at the Cyber Rodeo, but apparently will already be changed. When asked, will the Optimus prototype look the same, or at least very similar to the display model at the Giga Texas opening, Elon said no. This could mean many things. Maybe the design is already completely different, maybe it will be a super rough prototype, or maybe they will only be demonstrating concept renders or videos of their progress. Already, there are plenty of skeptics calling this concept a fake robot, and expecting that Elon will unveil some kind of joke of a concept at this event. Anything could happen, and many have pointed out that while Tesla has yet to make a robot, plenty of companies have made compelling robots in a humanoid form. Honda's Osmo just celebrated its 20th anniversary in 2020, so they have existed for some time with limited functionality. One piece that these robots are missing is the advanced brains to control them. In theory, this is exactly what Tesla is actively working on with their FSD AI efforts. Elon commented on this a bit, saying, quote, "Often, when we announce something, we hear simultaneous criticism that it's already been done, but also that it's impossible." That's definitely a pattern you see, but at the same time, there is a pattern of large technological promises from Elon that get delayed for so long it causes people to lose faith in his ideas. For example, in January of 2016, he said, "In around 2 years, someone should work anywhere connected by land and not blocked by borders. Example, you're in LA and the car is in New York. 6 years later and nothing even close to this exists." So it makes sense why people are so skeptical of the Tesla bot, but of course we're hoping for the best. Either way, Tesla has pushed back their AI Day number 2 to September 30th, and it could bring the next update on the Tesla bot. Next up today, news about the Cybertruck has been heating up a little bit because while it has been delayed, the machine that will build the Cybertruck body has actually been constructed. Idra makes Tesla's Giga presses, and they just announced their new 9,000-ton Giga press. Idra didn't say who this was for, but at this point it's pretty obvious. Elon Musk further confirmed this. When a video of the 9,000-ton Giga press being assembled was posted, Elon said Cybertruck body. This is the first step of many to get Cybertruck production going, but it shows that Tesla does plan to make this crazy truck. For now, there's the Cybertruck design that we have seen. Tesla has updated it quite a bit since the original unveil, ditching door handles, reportedly adding a 4th motor, and more, but in the future, there is a lot that they could do with this platform. Elon has talked about a smaller Cybertruck for Europe, but in other areas, a larger Cybertruck could be possible. In a recent slideshow shared from a SpaceX all-hands meeting, SpaceX shared a render of what their future Starbase factory could look like. It says, quote, "Factory of the Future Starbase," and in it, you can see a number of things. There are 3 matte black Cybertrucks in the back, one normal Cybertruck, what appears to be two Tesla bots, as well as the Cybertruck up front. It's not the highest quality render, but this Cybertruck actually has a full accessory attachment on the back, lights up front and on the roof, and a wider wheelbase. Accessories are one thing, and these could be things that Tesla would make or third parties would make in this vision of the future, but the wider wheelbase is big. Some renders shared by Cybertruck Owners Club show what this could look like. The wide wheelbase would allow for double tires in the rear. It could haul a bunch more, making this truck even more effective for hard work that would require a truck this size. It actually gives the Cybertruck more of a look like the refreshed Model S in the rear with a very wide wheelbase. Of course, these are just renders of what SpaceX factories could look like in the future, but it does seem odd that by accident someone made an entirely updated wider wheelbase version of the Cybertruck. Likely this is something Tesla is considering in the future after the initial Cybertruck design is well underway. Prior to that though, this rack could be something that they introduce. Regarding the interior of the Cybertruck, one of the biggest questions going forward has been whether or not this will have an instrument cluster. The original Cybertruck prototype and renders showed an interior that just featured one center screen. However, the center screen is 17 inches, which matches the Model S and X refreshed screen, and this is such a premium vehicle that it really feels like it should have an instrument cluster. We had seen hints that this will possibly have an instrument cluster, but never got close-ups until now. New photos of the Cybertruck interior were posted online, and what we can see is that, for one, they're borrowing the yoke from the Model S and X, the center screen is also from those cars, and there is an instrument cluster there. The pedals are also very squared off, and overall, it has a very squared off angular design throughout the interior, but yes, there is an instrument cluster. Lots could change before the final version of the Cybertruck comes out for real, but it seems very, very likely that this is the current prototype that they're going with, and by the time the Cybertruck truly launches, it will have both displays. Definitely a very popular option. Either way, it's exciting to see more renders and updates for this crazy truck. Next up today, there's been a lot in the news about Tesla reducing their employees by 10%. This signaled a lot of fear, especially since the original report from Reuters said, quote, Tesla CEO has a super bad feeling about the economy and needs to cut about 10% of salaried staff at the electric car maker, he said in emails seen by Reuters. That super bad feeling part was not officially leaked, but Elon's email did leak, saying, quote, Tesla will be reducing salaried headcount by 10% as we have become overstaffed in many areas. Note, this does not apply to anyone actually building cars, battery packs, or installing solar. Hourly headcount will increase. Essentially, what Elon is laying out here is that they may be cutting certain jobs, but they will not be decreasing any production. That will only be increasing. He later clarified this email about 10% salaried staff on Twitter, saying, quote, total headcount will increase, but salaried should be fairly flat. He seems to be walking back that email a bit here and not denying it, likely because it scared so many as to what it meant for Tesla's future. We'll get into this and why it's not quite what it seems in just a minute. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Drive Protected. For myself and many others, it's very important to protect your Tesla. This comes in many forms, but a great way to protect your car is to apply paint protection film, or PPF. That's where Drive Protected comes in. They are the #1 trusted source for DIY PPF for Teslas. They include step-by-step instructions, so customers are assured of success on their PPF install, even if it's their first time, and they have a team of professionals available to help guide you to success on your install. A PPF install is usually very expensive, but a DIY PPF install from Drive Protected is a cost-effective solution to keep your Tesla looking great. They sell a variety of protection kits for all of Tesla's vehicles, allowing you to get the protection you need within your budget. To check out Drive Protected for yourself, click the link in the description below and use the coupon code SHA20 for 20% off of your order. All of this layoff news came around the same time that Elon sent emails to Tesla staff saying that remote work is no longer acceptable. At the time, he said, quote, if you don't show up, we will assume you have resigned. And this goes along with a theme he has been talking about online lately. He values physical presence for a job, doesn't see remote work as true work, and doesn't like separation in workers. A leaked email said, quote, the more senior you are, the more visible must be your presence. This is why I lived in the factory so much, so that those on the line could see me working alongside them. He continued on that theme on Twitter saying, quote, everyone eats same food, uses same restrooms, etc. No executive chef or other ivory tower stuff. There shouldn't be this workers versus management two-class system. Everyone is a worker. Clearly, this is very important to him, and it seems like this is the kind of shakeup he is looking for at Tesla. What it really seems like is that some economic fear is in place, and Elon is looking at the future of Tesla, but at the same time, he wants to shake up how Tesla functions. He wants to change up how Tesla is paying its workers workers, avoid paying those he feels are pretending to work, eliminate remote work, and focus on increasing production. While some layoffs could happen, overall he sees it remaining fairly flat so that the jobs that they add truly lead to more production. Next up today, a big part of Tesla's future is autopilot and self-driving. We talked about how that relates to their AI efforts and the Tesla bot down the line, but for now we see their progress in the expansion of the FSD Beta. This is the city streets beta they have promised for years now, and it has been in the hands of around 100,000 customers with high safety scores thus far. Just a few days ago, Elon finally gave an update about the latest version, saying, quote, FSD Beta 10.12.2 now expanding to 100,000 cars. 10.13 smooths out intersection control, especially long lefts, and starts to handle roads with no map data at all. Last point is a big deal. Within a few months, FSD should be able to drive to a GPS point with zero map data. For Europe, FSD and autopilot progress has been slower for Tesla due to their own progress and regulation. Elon commented on this a bit this week, saying, quote, we are close to the point where offering something for EU regulators to review makes sense. All of this progress is great to see, but what some worry about is how much Tesla is working on this future technology while leaving the technology they ship on every single car, basic autopilot, on the back burner. A year ago, Tesla dropped radar sensors from their cars in favor of Tesla Vision, and that, along with increased vehicle deliveries, could be contributors to increased reports of phantom braking. Phantom braking is what occurs when you're on autopilot and the car slams on the brakes for no apparent reason. Nearly every Tesla owner has experienced this at some point, and it definitely doesn't instill confidence in the system. It can also feel like a safety risk, potentially leading to a rear ending if your car slams on the brakes on the freeway for no reason. NHTSA has received many complaints about this and has been looking into the issue for some time now. Now Tesla is required to respond. NHTSA has received 758 complaints of phantom braking and said, quote, Tesla's response to this letter in duplicate, together with a copy of any confidentiality request, must be submitted to this office by June 20th, 2022. Tesla's response must include all non-confidential attachments and a redacted version of all documents that contain confidential information. They are asking for documents related to Tesla's autopilot testing, hardware, software changes, and what has led to the increased number of complaints, among other things. I have experienced phantom braking a number of times on autopilot. As a driver using autopilot, it's your responsibility to monitor and take over when necessary. However, when phantom braking occurs, it does so quickly and aggressively because it thinks it's preventing an accident. It's definitely something I'm happy to see NHTSA investigate because it can feel like Tesla is focused on the FSD Beta while everyone else with autopilot is facing issues like this. I really hope this leads to Tesla addressing and fixing phantom braking issues. Next up today, speaking of issues for Tesla to work on, is their service. Tesla's service has a reputation among some owners for being the smoothest experience ever, while for others it can be a nightmare. Many are afraid to buy a Tesla because of this, and what I've seen lately is that service centers near me are incredibly backed up. I have an issue right now with my Plaid Model S where it says the front trunk is open at all times. It is clearly latched and closes 100% normally, but the car doesn't think that it is. I actually had this same issue early on with my Model Y, and it was incredibly frustrating. It took 2 service appointments for Tesla to fix, but finally was fixed and hasn't been an issue since. Inside my Model S, it says, quote, hood latch sensor requires service, schedule service. This wouldn't be a big deal, except that I have to manually click to ignore the warning each time I enter drive, and autopilot is completely unavailable since the car thinks the hood is going to fly open on me. So my 2021 Model S Plaid can't use autopilot. I went to schedule service on Friday, and it said mobile service was available to come this Monday. No big deal and easy. However, the next day I received a response from Tesla service saying that I needed to go to a service center for the issue. This happens almost every time I try to schedule mobile service. The next appointment though, June 27th. That's about a 3.5 week wait to get a simple sensor fixed on my car. That means I can't use autopilot for that long. Luckily, I have a few service centers around me at various distances, so I was able to reschedule to Tesla service in Burbank later this week. Every other service center of 6 that I would consider was booked out for weeks. Most people don't have options to find a service center with less wait time like I did, and this shows me right here how this is becoming an issue. Waiting weeks for service is not reasonable. It makes me less excited when Tesla ships more cars each quarter as well, unless they truly increase service capacity at the same time. Luckily this week though, Elon tweeted about Tesla's plans to improve this. He said, quote, working on Tesla North American service. Goal is 2/3 of cars receive same-day service, no wait. This is huge and very good to see Elon acknowledging. Usually, Tesla talks about how the best service is no service, and while most agree, it just isn't the case in the reality as to what is happening for Tesla's products right now. Some service is required from time to time, and service centers are getting backed up as they sell more cars. Being able to have service same day with no wait time will not only be huge for Teslas, but for any vehicle. It would change the fear of buying a Tesla for service issues and turn that into a plus. I really hope that this is prioritized as Elon says, and that we can see improvements in the next few years as Tesla significantly grows. Last up today, a few updates about other automakers. First, Mercedes has shared pricing for their upcoming EQB electric SUV. They say that it will be delivering in the US in summer of 2022 and starting at the price of $54,500. This would be their most affordable electric model to date in the US. They have two different announced trims and each feature a 66.5 kilowatt hour usable battery capacity. They also have various specs ranging from $55,550 up to $61,400. Range has yet to be announced, but if it can come with a decently compelling standard range at that price, it could be a great electric car to see. It should start around $8,000 cheaper than the Model Y, so the range it introduces will be very important. Aside from vehicles, a big piece of Tesla's business, especially going into the future, is their solar business. They sell home energy storage with their Powerwall, and now Toyota is making their own home battery pack. Toyota said, quote, "Toyota has developed batteries based on the concept of safe, long service life, high quality, good value for price, and high performance, so that customers can use them with peace of mind. Their system has a capacity of 8.7 kilowatt hours and an output of 5.5 kilowatts. They also say that it will support bidirectional charging to tap into an EV's battery pack if more energy is necessary. For now, it's only available to order in Japan, but should expand in the future." That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the latest for Tesla's delivery timelines, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.